Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Gran Turismo 7 to look at the first of the new vehicles from update 1.31, which is this rather different thing, the Toyota Alphard, which until this update I've actually never heard of. Apparently it has a V6 though. It's available from Brand Central for 75,000 credits, making it the second cheapest vehicle in this update, and is available in a selection of colours, including this one called White Pearl Crystal Shine, which is of course the one I've gone for, but it's also available in Luxury White Pearl, Steel Blonde Metallic, Graphite Metallic, which is in fact brown, and black. Update 1.31 actually gives us 5 brand new vehicles, the Toyota Alphard that we're looking at today, but also this Mazda 3, this Audi RS5 DTM car, and 2 new Porsches, which I'm not showing you here because, well, by the time I got to this update, they had already disappeared from the Legendary Cars dealership, where you could obtain them for some large amount of money. This update, as usual, does also come with some extra menu books. Extra menu number 18, the Toyota family car, which includes the new Alphard, the Prius, and the Crown Athlete. And this number 19 Ford GT menu, which is a bit of a random one, and I'm surprised it wasn't already in here, featuring what looks to be the GT40, the 2005-2006 GT, and the 2017 GT. So, as I spotted earlier, this thing does indeed have a V6 engine, quite a big 3.5-litre V6 in fact, that produces 296 horsepower, coupled to an all-wheel drive system, which all makes it sound like a high-performance vehicle, not essentially a Toyota van or MPV type thing. This style of van, though, I believe is pretty popular in Japan, hence why there are some higher performance, more luxury variants. I don't think it's not necessarily supposed to be a performance car, but has a powerful-ish engine and very comfortable interior. They seem to make these as sort of luxury vehicles in Japan for some reason. But yeah, it is still pretty incredible. I mean, it didn't feel fast, it still feels like an MPV type thing, but it was surprising. Got up to 126 miles an hour on the straight. Didn't handle too badly, rolled around in the corners a bit, as you might expect, but yeah, not a bad thing overall. And it is rated at 394.88 performance points, which seems pretty high actually for, well, essentially a van. But that's from standard, and I don't think we should leave it standard. So usually in Gran Turismo, even the most ridiculous vehicles have a wide body option, but this one doesn't, and I'm kind of surprised, but maybe that's just because it's been on some odd things before. I suppose it kind of makes sense not being able to do that to this. But I think there might be some custom parts that we can put on extended front splitters for some reason. Ooh, that's slightly weird, how it sort of extends that, not carbon bit, but I actually think that looks better. Right, so what did I go for? Type A, just so we can maybe match them. Type A, Type B, yeah, I think Type A looks better. Although I'm not sure any of them are necessarily an improvement, but... Oh. Okay, no, maybe we did want to do... Anyway, and wing... Oh, okay, there aren't custom ones, which I'm kind of glad to see, because that kind of more subtle lip looks better, and it removes that funny aerial fin from the roof as well. So, yeah, overall that does look slightly more sporty. I'm not sure if I prefer the extended lips, but we had to do something with it, right? Racing items, there are bonnet pins, but I don't know why you'd put those on this. There is a tow hook, but again, I don't know why, and you can't put a roll cage on it. What about these? You've got your usual super cool bulbs, which I'll of course put on. There's these. Oh, okay, so we can... What have we got at the moment? We've got the equivalent of Type A, I think. So I think we want Type A rear only, which then removes the plate from the front, of course, which I think looks slightly better. It is a ridiculously big grille on the front of this thing. It looks a bit odd, really. It's almost bigger than the vehicle itself. Yeah, so I'm not sure if any of that's an improvement. We probably need some wheels now as well to kind of go with that. I'm not sure what... Shall I see what I've got that I own. Oh, okay, there's quite a lot that we can't put on. I'm not really sure what kind of thing we're looking for here. Maybe something like that, actually. Then can we... Oh, wow. I'm not going to do that. Let's go with 19s, wider width, and wide offset. Yeah. Not too bad looking. But yeah, I'm not sure any of that's an improvement. So then, on to paint options. Now, the first thing I've noticed when we've come into here is it paints the badges. I'm not sure what the badge on the front is, whether that's specifically an Alphard badge, but that's on there. But it also paints the Toyota badge on the rear, and over all of these, which is kind of strange. Anyway, I think we should first look at Toyota colours. If we go on, not that. I kind of love that that's always the first colour that comes up. But, ooh, okay, the only colour we have is lightning yellow, which I believe I used on a Prius before, which I think people commented made it look like a taxi, which this kind of also does. And I'm never sure about yellow with a white interior, although, yeah, yellow does look kind of cool on this thing. I think maybe we just go back to some kind of metallic-y colour. I mean, we could go with like a metallic purple. Just to be a bit mad with this thing, because why not? I think we should paint it in Lamborghini Verde Mantis. Let's do that. Then I'm going to check what the other groups are. Body 2 is usually just the bonnet. Oh, or in this case, the roof. See, if we could do that in carbon fibre, that would be brilliant, but sadly that's not an option, so I think we just have to go with black on that one. Side mirrors, should we do the same? Sure. And rear wing. Do we also want that in black, or should I leave that? No, I'll leave that body coloured, I think. And other, hopefully this is the badges. It is, but I don't really know what colour to do them. And we could just black them out, but I feel like that's a bit boring. I think maybe we should look for another Lamborghini colour. I mean, we could go with a really bright red, which actually looks kind of incredible, or like an orangey colour. Yellow kind of blends in too much. I think the only real option here is red. I mean, it's a bit mad. I'm not sure it goes very well with green. But, I mean, if it's an option, that is so tempting. I think we leave those black, though. Well, that's a bit mad. I actually think the bright coloured badges would probably work better against a darker colour, particularly on the back here, where it's actually on the bodywork, but on the chrome bumpery bits, not bumpery bits, sort of grille surround bits, red works quite well. So with the visual mods completed, it had put the performance points up to just over 400, presumably because there was slightly wider tyres and stuff, but I found, looking at events, all the things that were 400 seemed to be front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. So if we wanted to use this, which is all-wheel drive, we kind of had to build it up to 500, which it's now sitting just above. I've ended up with a sports computer, sports air filter, sports silencer, sports tyres, sports suspension, sports clutch, and close ratio transmission. Then I've gone for fully customizable computer, although we've kind of replaced that with sports because it was a bit too far over. Same with the silencer, we've gone back to the sports one after fitting with that one. It's a bit fiddly here on Gran Turismo because you have to buy parts individually and then you realise it doesn't balance very well. So yeah, ignore these, those have been replaced with the sports ones. In racing, I've gone for the race brake pads. I've replaced the clutch with the sports one, that one. So ignore that. And I've put carbon ceramic brakes on because then you can paint the calipers, which I will remember to go and do now before I detune it slightly and enter it in a race. Although having fitted those brakes, I feel like the standard red colour actually works the best because it matches the badging. Never mind. So turns out I misread the 500. It's actually 600. I read the 6 as a 5. So to get to that, I've basically had to do all upgrades apart from weight reduction, which if I do that takes it well over. So we now have racing tyres, customizable things. You can basically see every part that I've bought to increase power, including a high RPM turbocharger. So we now have 561 horsepower. Kind of disappointed we couldn't fit anti-lag, but anyway, we're at 596.32, which is probably close enough to 600 for some, well, a quick fun campaign race, because we should still win, being a few performance points lower. We'll see, because it has a lot of power, but no weight reduction, so it could be interesting. I actually think this four-wheel drive Japanese challenge at the Tokyo Expressway might be one of the new events, and it's got the Toyota Alphard in the thumbnail. Again, another modified one, with nicer looking wheels by the look of it. Almost looks lower. But anyway, as that's new and we haven't done it before, and it's got this car in its thumbnail, I think that's the one we should do. So, here we go then. In the Toyota Alphard. Can't see much in this tunnel, it's as if it doesn't have headlights. But we appear to be gaining on the... We've overtaken an Evo already. Yeah, so I think we're going to be very fast in the straights, but we might struggle a bit in the corners. 8 gears. Goodbye, skyline. Little Yaris in front. Okay, it actually handles pretty well as well. This could be quite an easy race. Around the outside of the Subaru. Up the inside of the Subaru. Why is it so fast? Okay, yeah, this is fast. So normally you beat the AI, but I'm outperforming them on the straights and out-handling them. I don't really understand why it's so good to drive. And it occupies all of the 3 top positions. Do a one-make race with them all tuned like this, it would be incredible. But I appear to be leading already. This is about the easiest race I've had in a Gran Turismo campaign for a while. Not that it's usually difficult, you usually win, but you're not usually ahead this quickly. Got an entire another lap to do. Okay, it might be slightly top speed limited, it's doing 156, which is more than it did stock, but I suppose that makes sense when it's as aerodynamic as a skyscraper. Like that one over there. An incredible vehicle though. I love that they add such random things like this. I actually love how varied the updates are. So we've got a DTM racing car, an MPV, a hatchback, and some very valuable old Porsches. But this thing is just... No other game other than Gran Turismo would think of putting something like this in. It's such a Gran Turismo car to add, and that's what's brilliant about it. I'm not sure why it's so fast, it probably shouldn't be so fast, but yeah. It's going to be difficult for any of the other cars to beat this, I think. I think this is going to end up being my favourite. Just because of how ridiculous it is, and how... Why is it this good? can't even see the opposition. And we're pretty much at the finish line, so yeah. I'm going to use this for more 600 performance point events, I think. And I think that is going to do it for a very first look at the Toyota Alphard MPV/van type thing here on Gran Turismo 7. A ridiculous thing to start with. I mean, why would you put a V6 engine in something like this and make it luxurious? It just doesn't really make sense to me, but apparently this kind of thing's popular in Japan. And then the fact that if you modify it, well, for one, you can make it look like this, with a wide body and a paintable badge paint group, so that you can have red badges on a green vehicle. It still leans quite a lot modified. So you can do all of that, and then you can apparently make it into a ridiculously fast car at 600 performance points, at least for campaign mode. I don't know what it would be like in online races, if there's something you can do in tuned vehicles, but for 600 performance point campaign races, I think this has become my go-to vehicle now. Like I say, absolutely love how mad this is, and how random the mix of vehicles in these updates are. It does still lean a lot, doesn't it? So yeah, I'll be back very soon to take a look at the Audi RS5 DTM car. I think I'll look at next, and then of course the Mazda. Unfortunately, I've missed out on the Porsches, for the time being at least, but I'll be back to take a look at those very soon. But for now, for a first look at this incredible whatever it is, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.